It's a wonderful day today.
1回でね、15人、そのご覧のテストにパスしたということは非常に素晴らしい。
I think it's a wonderful thing that 15 people have passed at the first time the fifth Dan test. All over the world, there was not one place that 15 people passed the test at the first time. It means this is proof that in the States there are many good people, there are many wonderful people, many talented people. Seijoki? Seijoki today, eh? Ah, the stars of the United States are endless. All the fifth Dan, please come up over here. You know the melody Stardust? Wonderful, wonderful stars. While listening to the music, let's look at each star at a time. This is one drama.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
A day before yesterday, we watched a video. We saw the technique named Dogaishi from Takagi Yoshinryu. And let's start. This is from the sitting position. Okay, Swarigata. In Japan, they call it Seiza. I haven't seen people sitting for that long in this position. And the legs. Say, the legs are, you know, your legs get numb and your head stop working. So it's better not to sit in Seiza for a long time. So the ladies, many times you see in order so the legs won't get numb, they'll sit in between the heels. Much more flexible than men in those positions. But the real samurai, so in ceremony time, you know, they would sit in this fashion. But the real samurai will sit mostly in fudoza.
足がしびれないような
It's a position that your legs will not get numb.
こういう座り方を教えませんと姿勢の時にやられてしまいます。
If you don't learn this type of sitting, or if you don't understand the sitting, in an actual combat, you can fail.
例えばですね、こうやって長く正座していますね。
If you'll sit in this fashion for a long time,
悪いやつですね、いつまでもそこで座らせておきます。
eh?
悪いやつはそこでいつまでも座らせておきます。
So if you you find somebody a bad guy, or then you let him sit there for a long time like this.
それでね、足がしびれてきた頃を見計らって、
And then when you feel that his leg got numb, then you attack him.
OK？ それも一つの手なんです。
This is one of the, you can say, technique or a strategy.
そういう手には引っかからないことね。
So don't fall into this type of trap.
いろんな武道技はテクニックがあるんです。
There are many techniques in Budo.
ですから、よく正しい武道とはどんなものか。
So study to understand the right Budo.
それを見抜ける目を養って、
So develop an eye that can see it.
体の目を養ってください。
Develop the eye of your body too.
心の目を養ってください。
Develop the eye of your heart.
これがとても大事なんです。
This is very important.
これはステップアップステップ、一つずつ分かってくることだからね。
You'll understand those things step by step.
まず座り方、胴返しをやるのでね、
When you start with Dogaishi, in the sitting position,
ちょっと座り方を教えました。それから高木義流の座り方はですね、
okay.
正座でも違うんです。
You see, the Takagi Yoshin-ryu sitting position is different from
こ
Seiza.
ういうふうに座ってる。
You see the way he sits? Sit on the
こ
heels.
ういうふうに座ってる。
That's the way we are sitting.
いつでも変化できるように。
You can,
変えるように。
you can always stand up, you can always change.
これが高木義流の座り方です。
This is the sitting way of Takagi Yoshin-ryu.
じゃあ、胴返しの方をね、
Okay. We will
こ
learn.
の各級にやっていただきましょう。
We learn.
もうインストラクターの方はね、みんなもう、五代の以上の方は知っています。
I think this kata, all the instructors above the fifth dan know already.
ですから、まあ、形を覚えたら、僕は雰囲気でお教えします。
When you'll understand the form, I'll start explaining the feeling of this technique.
はい、スローモーション。はい、座って。ワン。ワンスモー。ワン。ツー。スリー。フォー。今ちょっと背の動きましたね。一つ一つ動かないということでやってもらいましょう。ワン。
Okay. We'll do the same movement again without.
ツー。はい。スリー。フォー。こんな動かないでしょ。
Without moving.
これ。初め動かない動き。
This is.
取り手が動いちゃいけません。
You stay in the same position all the time.
ワンスモー。チェンジ。ワンスモー。チェンジ。
See, in this position,
これが分かってれば
he shouldn't lose his balance.
相手のこの締めと
And if he'll push
肘
his
の関節が取れてるわけ
chest forward, then he will have a choke
こういう場
and
合ですと
a lock. You
相
see,
手を逃がしてるんです
in this, you see, the way he's sitting, he lets his opponent escape, actually. He must be straighter.
ストレートだと相手の技が決まるんです
If he's straighter,
背骨の線ちょっとした背骨の線でもね技が効くか効かないか決まっちゃうんです
you see, even a little bit about the line of the spine can make the difference between the technique working or not working.
一つの技でもこういうふうに違うんです
You see, in one technique, that's how different it can make.
形だけを覚えるっていうのはナンセンスなんです
Only learning the form is really nonsense.
ワンソンプレイ
No, play to them.
ワンツースリーフォーオーケーずっとどうだいカン君聞いただろう
You see, this way it was much more effective, isn't it? This was the most effective one.
こうやって僕は10代でも直すんです
So you see, even this way, I'm teaching my 10th dan.
これは彼たちをいじめてんじゃないんです
Eh?
彼たちをいじめてんじゃないんです
I'm not really trying to do something to them, I'm teaching them.
これは武道の教えなんです
This is the teaching of Buddha.
これは教えるマナーなんです教えるマナー
That's the manners of teaching.
Alright, stand up, play.
Okay, this man had an operation on his knee.
足が痛い時には
Not yet. He have a knee injury.
Very nice, very good.
So he came and asked Sensei about what shall he do in those techniques.
戦いの時にはね
In the wartime,
足を切られたりやられたりしてる
some people had, hurt themselves, cut the leg,
彼どうしたらいいですか
and what shall I do? That's enough. In this way, practice. And then at that time, and then you have to use your legs in a different manner, without bending it.
だからねよく形がこれが正しいとここれが正しくないなんて今まで言ってた人は子供みたいなもんだってのが分かるでしょ
Do you understand now that those people that always say that the form is important are like children?
こういうことがとても大事なんですよ
Because this thing is much more important than the form.
で僕はその時によってくるくるくるくる変わってますけども
Maybe I'm changing in each situation.
みんな教えるために変わってる
I'm changing in order to teach you.
中身は非常なやつです
Because
教える
the inner part is the same. I'm teaching you how to live.
ねアメリカでこういうふうに分かるまでに10年かかりました
It took 10 years for the people here in the States to reach that level.
僕は高松先生のことを本当に分かるのに30年かかりました
And it took me 30 years to understand what my teacher taught me.
分からなくてもいいからkeep going
And so even if you don't understand, just keep going.
そういうことです
It's very important.
人間は死ぬのが分からないでしょう
Human beings don't know when they're going to die.
それと同じです
It's the same thing.
OK 生きるのもなんです
Living is the same thing.
いつまで生きられるか
You don't. How long will you live? When will you die?
分からないでしょう
You don't know.
そこからスタートです
And that's where it starts.
はいプレイ
Today, take the double. Kan and Seno. He punched the solar plexus. So you move a little bit sideways. This is about the distance that you may have, that it can go that much in. In the beginning, this movement is important. Let's practice this movement. Let's start with this movement. Let's practice it about 10 times. He's already afraid. So he won't do hard on him. This is important. And then the next technique can be born. Until here. This is important. Slowly. When your opponent come and punch you, well, you can't push it in this way. He's strong. What will you do? Change direction. When the direction that you try doesn't work, change direction. If you can change, it really doesn't matter how big or how strong is your opponent. That's the name. Kyojitsu Taihenjitsu. If you do it just one by one. For the 10th dan, it's the first time they see this technique. In my case, it's endless. You don't have to imitate me, but go ahead and play. I've had a question from Bad about Dogaishi. Let's do it again.
One, two, three, four. Okay. Once more, change it. Ah, その返し技見たかった。もう一度先生。
先生やった返し技です。
ああ、あれあんまりやらない方がいい。
He said this technique he would rather not have you doing because people can break the neck. It's a very dangerous one. He just showed it and then he decided that it's better not to do.
慣れてからじゃないとね。
Only when you really got good at it.
はい、プレイ。OK？ これやるとこれだけの中でちょっと気がする。
If you do this technique in such in a big group of people like we have here, we can get many injuries.
だからインストラクターにだけ教えていくから後で。
So he will teach later only the instructors, so you can go on later on with it.
そうしてください。OK？ はい。まずもプレイ。はい。ここまではみんなやりましたね。
We did until here.
はい。それ足の動かし方。
Okay, let's learn the movement of the legs. You see, they used to wear hakama. It's like a big skirt. So you put your hands inside of the hakama. Do you know hakama? In the actual combat, you look forward, but you actually are turning to the side already. It's a real bad soke. We need a tanto, a short knife. It's better to have two. Eh? It looks like his knee. Okay, later you understand. He just wanted to show you the principle. So they used to do this type of technique. It's really nice that you gave two knives. You understand what he needs. You see, if you can get killed if you don't know this type of tricks. Just thinking that my technique is good. If you become zero, you don't get caught by any technique. The higher the grade become, the more strong I am on the people. What I want is to have people that are like average people, simple people. There was a movie that called Zennin Samu. What? What?
Zennin Samu っていうね、ムービー。僕も若い頃見たから僕がね、みんな若いから。
When it's probably you don't know it because I've seen this movie when I was very young. Maybe Kevin's father know this movie because he's exactly the same age as Sensei. The next one.
足わかりましたね。
You understand about the legs.
高木よし座り型とは形が
Okay, this is the footwork of Takagi Yoshin Ryu, Swarigata, sitting position, sitting form.
はい。後ろに追い詰められます。
Shiro nani?
後ろ何もありません。
There's nothing behind. Like he's not sitting near a wall or something. What do you do? And you can escape in that direction, in this direction. So you bring the solar plexus to the left.
技を見せない。
You don't show your technique.
これが大事。
That's very important.
OK。 今度ドローンで。はい、彼がついてきますので、ここです、目標は水月ということで。
I'm attacking the solar plexus
電書ではね、まあ一応、
in the densho.
はい、相手がついてきます。はい、相手戻ります。
Then I go back.
これどの分に詰まったわけね。
That's the question.
はい、はい。OK。戻って。ワンスモー。お題。戻す。わかりますか？
Do you understand?
自由にすることね。
Move freely.
この手を自由に呼吸するように。
It's like the breathing.
胸で取るときは呼吸です。
When you do technique with the chest, you use breathing.
何か取るときにはこう呼吸するでしょ。
See, when you try to get something,
胸が高め
even men and women, you know, then the chest is kind of expanding, and
それを使う。
use this type of technique.
幸福な技がつかめる。
And then you can learn like a happy, a joyful technique.
はい、プレイ。今、彼が不動産の時はどうしたらいいかという。
What he was asked, what will you do in the time in case of fudoza?
不動産ね。聞けますね。この時どうしたらいいか。
What will you do in this sitting position?
お尻で変わる。
You move yourself with your butt.
OK？ ジョージアピーチテクニック。OK。
Georgia peach technique.
OK。 はい。ワン。はい。これ。これ。だから僕本にまとめられないんで俺出さないの。
You see, this is one of the reasons I can't make it into a book.
一つはその理由があるわけ僕は。
That's
僕の
what.
悪い癖でね。
I have a bad habit of.
まとめるの嫌いなんだよ。
I don't have to organize things, like organize the book, like that's the way the technique are.
だから僕は人間も一人一人を大事にする。まとめることより。
But more than collecting the information, put it into book, I like to take care of human being one by one.
いい人を一人一人僕は大事にしたい。
I would like to take one by one, good people, one by one.
ほら、じゃあジョージアページテクニックプレイ。
Play the Georgia Peach technique. Okay, the basic form of Takagi Yoshinryu. Did you understand? Just see where Seno-san is touching his face, so you... It's dangerous, so I'll do very slowly. But this is, you should do it only in a big place where you have a space, not here. Don't roll over here. Well, this technique I've kind of worked with him together because he may get a big injury out of it. A to 15分。あとこれ早い10分早いんだから45分。
15分前ね。
はい。Okay, the way that you send the legs. A Russian dance style. This is a Sabaki form of Takagi Yoshinryu. You're holding the collarbone and watch his hand. He's already getting it. There are many ways of Dogaishi. We finish for the morning training. Did you understand? Do you understand Dogaishi? In the morning, the technique we did in the morning? The self-defense for men, self-defense for ladies. If you look at it from anatomical point of view, If you take the power, the amount of power, you say that a woman is 3 and a man is 7. If you look at the possibility of in the power or in the muscle,
逆に精神的に言いますとね、
but then
時によっては、
intellectually speaking,
女性が7のパワーで、男性が3のパワーで。
so then at that time maybe women will have the 7 and men will have 3.
しかしね、
But
恐怖心はね、女性の方がある意味で言ったら強いじゃないですか。
but fear, talking about fear,
出てきた場合ですね、
when somebody dangerous is appearing
暗い夜道なんかで人であるっていう
walking in a dark alley, and suddenly some strange person is coming in front of you.
驚いちゃってね、
You're surprised,
筋肉が動かなくなる。
and the muscle, get spasm and you can't move.
ですから僕は女性の護身術と男性の護身術をね、全く2つに分類することはいけないことだと思うようになりました。
So I've thought recently that to separate the self-defense of men and women, it shouldn't be separate the self-defense of men and women.
要するに、女性は女性の長所短所でよくし、男性は同じように男性の長所短所を知ることが一番僕は大事じゃないか。
What is Choshi and Tancho? The what? Yes, well, you plus and minuses, A man and also woman should see their possibilities or their merit and what? The demerit. Okay.
OK。これから皆さん、女性に教える場合、
When teaching women,
このことをよく理解してください。
so think about what I've said now.
変なこの技を覚えると大丈夫ですよなんて暗示を与えますとね、
If you let a woman have confidence with some strange technique that you are teaching her,
その女性を殺すことになるからです。
it's like actually killing her.
これは女性も男性もよく自覚してください。
So men and women must understand it carefully.
こういう事実を
That's truth.
争った時の事実、
It is the fighting truth.
よく見極めてください。
So understand it very carefully.
じゃあまた、吉井先生が同時にここに、模範演講してくださいます。皆さん一人一人はですね、私の言ったことを忠実に守って素晴らしい演講をしてくださいます。
See the one by one, a good teacher you have over here. そして最後は言ったことは最後に言ったこと。
忠実に俺の言った通りにやって。
Okay. And then just go on in the way according to what Sensei has been teaching.
形じゃないんです、中身です。
Because it's not the form, it's the inner part.
実践で必要なのはみんな中身です。
In actual fight, what you need is the inner thing. You don't need the form.
形を重要視してますとね、実践の時に破壊されるんです。形あるものは破壊されるってことをまず覚えてください。
Maybe the most important thing for you to learn is anything that has a form can be destroyed.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you. なんでいいから、OK。上半身、受け取った上半身。
Right. Okay, whatever.
俺の方見ないで。俺の方見られてると、相手に殺されるぞ。バースも、OK。彼にも忘れると教えてたから。
Eh?
彼にもセノにも忘れると教えてたから。
Okay, Sensei has taught Seno a lot about forgetting what he's teaching. He's a wonderful instructor, he says. はい、先生、皆さん。OK。はい。マスを違う技でいきます。 Do another technique
考えてていい。
without thinking.
お前し。Alright.
Dogaishi means turning the body.
はい、マスを。
It was good. This movement is important. This was Dogaishi. Huh? Okay, you got the spine of Dogaishi. Now put the meat around it. Next one. Kogyoku. Apple name? It's a name of an apple in Japanese. Kogyoku. Name.
Next technique is Koyoku.
Koyoku.
One, two, three. Okay. 母さん。 1, 2, 3. OK、大丈夫か ?OK。はい、スローリー、フリー。ワン、ツー、スリー。よく教えてやって。ワン、ツー。はい、ではまたポジションからよく見せて。投げるのを強く皆さん投げないでくださいね。
Don't throw hard, please.
それから強く打たないでくださいね。投ぐとき、相手を投ぐとき強く打たないでね。
Don't do it strong.
正しい動きをね。
Do a correct movement. Don't try to do strong movement.
はい。
He had a question. Koyoku. Okay, that's the name of the technique. If you just forgot it now. I'm always forgetting. Okay, the kamae. In case of kotoryu, this is togakureryu. This is gyokkoryu. Kotoryu is somewhere in the middle. Okay, let's go with kotoryu. When he's attacking, you don't block it, you let it slide. You hit him in the place where he's opening his chest. And then the bones just come out, the rib cage. It's true, if you really punch that's what happened. It's dangerous. You understand till here? You let it slide. Do you understand? Watch. Okay, while throwing, he's kicking. Because you didn't see it while you were watching me, isn't it? So, okay, this is a technique from the Kotoryu. This is only being understood by people that are in these seminars. Okay. Okay, he's showing you things that you cannot see them on a picture. Okay, the most important part here is not blocking the punch, but let it slide and move it away from you. Okay, let's practice this with the left hand. It's not blocking, okay? You see, if you just block, the movement will stop there. It's like you take it away sideways. And it brings you to a counter. See, this type of technique, unless you hear what I'm talking, you won't understand it. That's how much it is complete.
まっすぐ持ってやってみるね。
Okay, let's do it again.
はい、投入。構える。相手が来ていきます。はい。
You see, it's not hitting with the hand, it's hitting with the whole of yourself.
ちょっとね、今の次の手の使い方。
Okay, Sensei is going to teach you the way of using the fist in case of koppojitsu. See the distance, you checking your distance with your opponent. When you go to the next movement, watch the left hand together with the legs forward. Do you understand? Because when it's fast, did you see it? Did you understand it? He's showing you the elbow. Sensei. Okay. You see, even if your opponent is big, and if you think that the punch is not effective, you're in trouble. In my case, it's everything is connected. According when the opponent is moving forward to attack you, while hitting him with the shito. Don't poorly imitate me, because you get injured. Okay, let's have a few minutes break.
There he is.
Okay, koyoku is as I've taught you. Okay, practice it as I've showed you before. There's a Mutodori technique from Takagi Yoshinryu. Kenjadori. Kenjadori is the name of the technique. I think I think that you saw it yesterday on the TV. Oguri Shihan was demonstrating this technique.
はい、それはね、まず、それじゃなく、誰かにお借りする名前と。
Do you have a long sword?
あ、OK。OK、刀。OK。あ、だから OK。よし。長いのと両方持ってました。
In the Sengoku period, they used to use very long swords. Average sword, at time of peace, they used to make a short sword. See, as you see, this is the long one, the tachi. In the same technique, kenjadori, even in mutodori technique, defending against a tachi or as usual swords, the distance is different. And at the same time, if the opponent wear armor on him, even if you say Joda no Kamawa, it's different. This is a sword, Joda no Kamae. In case of a helmet, it's just enough that you raise it up on the side like this. Or on the shoulder. And then you move forward and you cut. If you hold it all the time like this, it gets very heavy. And while you move forward, you hit with your body. Why do you do it in this way? In this way, and they come together. When you let go of one hand in a case of a long sword as you have here, even if you hold it like this, see? Watch. So the average is Edo period kenjadori. Okay, let's practice this one. First of all, check the distance. As I always say, you start from this distance and then you move backward to any kamae. That's not the way. See? Watch the way the sword is parallel to the hand. You draw the sword, and that's exactly the distance that will cut the head.
はい、スタンドアッププレイ。
It must be, you must know if the sword is straight or not. This is very important. If it moves sideways, this is the basic. Straight. And then straight forward. Okay. You show yourself big. You see, you wait with a hand on your side like this. You wait. Okay, show yourself big. You hit with your knees. Otherwise the sword won't fall down. You must have power or tremendous power inside your movement. And you don't hit with your hand, hit with your body. So unless your heart is with you, you won't be able to do this kind of movement. A clear way of thinking. And a clear confidence. Unless you have those things, your technique will not come alive. You'll die. When the technique dies, you die too. This is the principle of Mutodori. From now on, learn that martial art is not a game. Men and women the same. And in this way, yesterday, Rumiko made a very good performance. We need a sword and a tachi. Let's think about it simply. There was a question to Sensei about the difference of tachi and a sword. When you stand in Daijodan and you cut forward, and what is it that you hold the sword so much backward and cut? For example, in a case of a long sword, you do it with the body, you don't do it with the hands. That's why backward. You take it backward. Well, if the opponent have armor and you don't do it that far, you won't break it. In time of peace, you don't have armor, and that's enough. But after you hit, you go on and push him. There's oshigiri. It's not enough to cut. You have to beat him down. If you know those two, that's enough. If you think about too many things, it gets too complicated. Do you understand this? Okay, that's okay. There is a technique that only works in Edo period. Why is it so? In time, see, in the Sengoku, in the war period time, they had a protector over there. Even if you punch it there, it doesn't work. So you have to go with the armor and under it in order to get the punch work. And with this thing in mind, you do those two movements. Okay, the Kenjadori of Edo period and the Sengoku time is different according to the dress of your opponent. Even to this one technique, it has an history. Most of the Buddha men of today has no history. And that's a very important thing. Even for today, you have the variation of the history. Okay, even if it is Kenjadori. If it doesn't work there, if it doesn't work, move forward while pushing. Even don't do it as a game. You must do it in a way. That your opponent won't be able to move. Because if those movements even a little bit wrong, you can die. And that's type of movement that I'm teaching you now. And also knowing your opponent. And seeing your opponent. Seeing through your opponent. Exactly to the place. Wait. Do you understand it? In order to live in Buddha, physically and mentally, that's not the only thing. There's something, a mysterious world that exists over there. And you must learn those three situations or three places. And also you should remember that the 10th dan are the starting point of everyone.
これはとても大事なことです。
This is a very important thing
これはみんな生かすために僕が言ってる。
in order to make you alive.
10段の人が生きてもらうために
I'm talking it for the 10th dan so they can live too.
僕が偉くなろうと思って言ってんじゃない。
I'm not trying to make myself important.
実践に遭遇してみるといろいろと分かってきます。
When you experience it in actual combat, you get to understand what I'm talking about.
どうぞ。ワン。これで取ろうと思わない。
You don't try to catch the sword or to perform the technique. That's enough.
それでこれを向こうに飛ばしたのがこう上げる。
And then upward too.
なぜか。
Why is it?
敵が向こうから来たから。
Because there might be an opponent from the other side coming. And then you,
この一つの賢者取りでも
even in one technique like Kenjadori,
戦国時代になったり実践の時になったら1対1という感覚で動いてはいけません。
okay, so even in a time of fighting, don't move with the perspective of one person against the other.
ですから初めは一つの形で指定する1000回ぐらい練習する。
So in the beginning, maybe to learn the form, maybe 1,000 times you must practice it to master the basic form.
そしたらそれを離しちゃう。
And then let go of it.
そうするとうまくなります。
And then you become good.
だから基本発法の意味っていうのはこういうことなんです。
So and this is the meaning of Kihon Happo.
形じゃないんです。
It's not a form.
OK？ はい、じゃあこの賢者取り。はい、足が大事。
The legs are important.
はい。足の状態なんです。
You see, the position of the legs,
これがね、ぬっと打てるよ。
see, just in one motion.
ダンスみたいな。はい。ぬっと打てる。ポン。
And then inside.
このよくやるとよく勉強します。
And study, master
立てのように。
master very carefully the way of avoiding the sword. You don't have to catch it. That's enough too. Did you see it?
僕は手で打ってないから彼余計やります。
It's because I'm not hitting him with the hand.
たくさん技があるんだから紹介する。
Don't worry, there are many techniques.
ゆっくりやりなさい。
And learn slowly
みんなで仲良くしていく。
and get friendly with each other.
それが一番うまくなると。
And that's the best way to improve.
それを忘れるとだんだん下手になる。
And if you forget it, you slowly get poorer and poorer.
1分5位。ほら。はい。どうぞ。ブレイク。いや、刀の。刀。あります。あ、いいよ。賢者取りの変化は。
Okay, variation on Kenjadori.
はい。はい。 大丈夫か？はい。
There are many, many techniques.
体を自由に動かす。
To move your body freely
で、一つの自分のリズムを作ってください。
and also create your own rhythm.
僕はどうしてこういうふうに動けるのかね。
Why do you think that I move that way?
毎日1時間から2時間歩きます。
Every day I walk from an hour to 2 hours.
あと節制な生活してます。
And then my lifestyle is, how would you say psefse? Okay. Very regular.
だからね、世界回っても時差を全然僕は感じない。
So that's why when I travel around the world, I never feel the jet lag.
だからいいなんていうかしらリズムのある
There's a good rhythm.
生活だけで健康かっていうとそうじゃない。
It's not only about being healthy.
たまには不節制が必要なの。
Sensei, sometimes you need this type of, well, actually what sensei mean is that you don't have a regular way or style of living, wild style of living.
そうでしょう。戦争の時は3日も眠れない時
You see, in wartime, usually you can't sleep maybe for a few days.
道場で稽古するなんていうのは遊び。
The practice of the dojo is a game.
ね、どの形が正しいとか、
What form is right?
どれがうまいとかっていう。
Who is better?
僕は生きることを教えて。
I'm teaching you how to live
これをよく心と頭にします。
and put it very carefully in your heart and in your head.
それを忘れると本当のマシャランチとなれません。
If you forget it, you won't become a real martial artist.
ヤクザで終わっちゃいます。
You will finish as a gangster.
本当に3日間素晴らしい稽古をしてくださ
3 days we have a wonderful training.
い。感謝いたします。
I'm very grateful.
僕もこれだけね、アメリカの方が上手くなったということは本当に
That many people here in the States have become so good. It's
楽しく稽古していきます。
enjoy your training.
Thank you very much.
See, I think that many of them have things that I don't have. And sometimes when I look at them, I learn a lot. And don't forget it. To learn. When you become a teacher, that's when you start failing. And then you just end your life with being a senior teacher. Huh? Shogun. Shogun wa nani? Shogun wa soifu. I'm making shoguns. I make generals. Okay, by pair, please demonstrate the basic technique that we just did, the basic form. 2 people, one after the other. Okay, that's better. Just do it. Okay. He's about 2 years now staying in Noda, working without eating, working, construction, and just so he can train every day in ninjutsu. But he drinks quite some sake. How long have you been to Japan? 4 years? Yeah, but now you're staying in the States. 4 years in Japan. Doesn't work. Each one will take, he asks you to take a male partner. No, 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 no. I think every one of you have a wonderful talent. You see, you have many, many wonderful instructors, so please. You see, unless you study from your instructors, you go your own way, and your own way is not the right way. It's not enough just to watch videos. Really, I'm serious now. There are many things that you can't see on the TV. You see, when you watch from the TV, you see only one angle. But I have cameras that take me from 3 different angles. Actually, in order to understand what I'm doing, you need 10 different angles. That's. So, after I'm going back, so please go to those instructors, and they are very gentle, very sincere people, and study from them. 言いました。And let's clap hands for all the instructors for the demonstration. Okay, people above 5th Dan, stand up please. Only the people that passed the 5th Dan test. And since I would like each one of you to say clearly your name, because he wants to write it in hiragana. Come over here. Okay, please clearly, one by one. Okay, well, he would like you to demonstrate Dogaishi and also to say your name. So come in pairs, one by two. Okay, two of you, come forward. Take a partner.
誰とでもやりたい人、
Whoever you want to do with,
二人で組んでください。
and come forward.
はい、どうぞ。
Okay.
はい、name, please. What's your name? お、バイクだ。はい。
What's your full name? Abigail.
フルネーム。もう一つ名前は
What's the second name? Alan.
アビアル。
Okay.
ほら、これ。Okay, very good. Okay, what's your name? Mark Davis. Glenn Morris. Doctor. Okay. Okay. Very good. それに来る今のモーナさんがやって非常にいいことなんです。
The technique you just did is very good, actually.
こういうことは実践の時に必ず起きます。
Because it's always in a real action combat, that's what really happens.
それを平気で結局やり
And then-
決めたでしょ。
And you see, without hesitation, you just change, you did something over there, and that's good.
こういうことは武道家にとってとても大事なことです。
This is a very important point for Buddha men,
勇気のあることです。
to have confidence and courage.
Very nice. Very good. Okay. Okay, slowly, relax, play. Okay, okay. All right, very good.
See, when people come up on the stage, for some reason they kind of, and they forget the technique, you know. But on down, when they do it down, they do it very, very nicely. But they get a stage fright. But it's a good thing because I'm always telling you actually to forget what I'm teaching you.
Very nice. Okay. Right. Oh, that number. What's your name? Marty Smith.
He's a nice and handsome boy.
Okay.
Can you tell your name to all the people?
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. Very good.
Can you tell them your name again to them?
Scott Burley?
Mr. Graves, Doctor.
John Lindsay. Paul Fisher. Jaime Garcia.
See the one by one, a good teacher you have over here. そして最後は言ったことは最後に言ったこと。はい。Okay. And then just go on in the way according to what Sensei has been teaching.
It's okay. Good evening, everyone.
私は3年前までは 飛行機が大嫌いで、旅行したことは、海外に旅行したことはありませんでした。
Up to 3 years ago, I hated flying, so I never went abroad.
それで、3年前から今年で3年目になります、3回目になります、アメリカに来ました。
This is the third time that I visited America.
アトランタというのは風と共に去りぬという小説とコカ・コーラがあるということだけで来ました。
My only knowledge about Atlanta was a scene from the movie in the novel, The Going with the Wind, and also this is the headquarters for Coca-Cola Company.
今、風と共に去りぬという小説、それからムービーの中で、神様からいただいたこの傘を思い出しました。
And the parasol that Bonnie gave Mrs. Hatsumi reminded her of the scenes from The Going with the Wind.
3回目のアメリカで感じたことは、
The thing that I felt after the third trip to America,
武神館を愛し、宗家を愛してくださる方がこんなに大勢にいらしたということに本当に感動いたしました。
I was very moved. How many people are involved in this art, and they love this art, and then respect and love Dr. Hatsumi.
日本へ帰ったら、まずこのことを日本の門弟の方たちにお話ししたいと思います。
The first thing I'd like to tell the students in Japan is that there are these many people outside of Japan who love the art of the Bujinkan, also who love Dr. Hatsumi.
残念なことに私は、語学をお話しすることはできませんでしたので、一人一人皆さんとお話ししたかったんですけれども、それができなくてとても残念に思っております。
Unfortunately, I really wanted to talk to you, a lot of people, in your native tongue, but my ability of speaking English prevented me from communicating with one person individually. And that really, I'm very sorry about that.
今度アメリカに来るときは少しでも語学をマスターして皆さんに一人一人お話をし、また先生を愛し、武神館を愛してくださる方たちに一人一人お礼を言いたいと思います。
Next time, maybe I can study a little bit about English, and next time I come, I'd like to communicate with you individually, and thank you who love the art of ninjutsu, and who love the art of Bujinkan, and who love Dr. Hatsumi.
私はボニーさんが大好きです。
I love Bonnie.
またこのお二人のご夫婦の愛に感動いたしました。
I was very moved and very touched by the love of Bud and Bonnie.
私たち夫婦もボニーさん夫婦に学んで、これから何年生きるか分かりませんけども、一生懸命幸せになりたいと思いました。
I was very, very touched and moved by the love shown between Bud and Bonnie, and myself, meaning Mariko Sensei, and her husband, Dr. Hatsumi. Don't know how long they're going to be living in this earth, how many years, but there are so much they learned from Bud and Bonnie, and they like to live their life very happily, lovingly manner.